This is Maria from Crochet A to Z, and welcome to the channel. If you haven't subscribed yet, please push that subscribe button. If you have, I want to thank you. I want to thank everyone for being here today, and happy Wednesday. We're already there, Wednesday. So I hope you're all having a great day, a great week, and everything is going good. So today we're going to do block number 12. And it's a really pretty block. And like I mentioned in the my last tutorial, if you want to do these blocks, all of the blocks, and make the Afghan, you can. It's not too late to start this, even though we're in block number 12. You can make 2 or 3 a day. You can make, a lot of them in a week. So you can catch up. They're very easy. I go slow so you can follow along and you can learn these blocks. This is beginner to advanced. Everyone in between, and even if you've never crocheted before. Now the other thing with these blocks is if you just wanted to use 1 or 2 or 3 of these blocks for an Afghan, you can. You don't have to use all of them in an Afghan. You can just pick the ones you want to use and make. You may want to make maybe 2 or 3 of the blocks and then just move them around, put them in any color that you want. But that's what I wanted to mention. This is a crochet at your own pace Afghan. You can carry these along, bring your crochet hook and your yarn, and you can really do this anywhere. Once you put it together, it's a different story because there's a lot of them. But you can do this at your own pace. So let's get started. And with this Afghan and all of the blocks that I'm making, this is the crochet hook that I'm using. I'm using an I/9 size hook, and it's a 5.5 millimeter hook. I'm using all the same weight yarn. This happens to be a Premier yarn, but I also want to mention that if you start with one yarn, you want to use the same yarn and weight yarn so that you want to use all the same type of yarn, and you want to use the same weight for the entire Afghan. Now for this tutorial, I'm going to use this basic stitch anti-pilling for the tutorial. I just want to show you. And again, it's a 4 weight yarn. And it's royal blue in color. So what we're going to do is we're going to get started on making this Afghan. Now let's get started on this Afghan. And again, it is block number 12, and it is the puff stitch block. And these are the puff stitches right here. So let's get started with this Afghan. What we're going to do first is we're going to make our slip knot. I go slow so you can follow along, and there's our slip knot. So you can follow along, you can write it down, whatever you want to do. And again, beginner to advanced, everyone in between, that's the way we roll here. So after we make our slip knot, we're going to chain 29. So I'm going to just pull the camera out a little bit. So let's chain 29. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, and 29. This is your working chain, not considered a chain. These are your chains. They all look like these. And at the very end is your slip knot, not considered a chain. So now what we're going to do is in the 4th chain from the hook, 1, 2, 3, and 4, we're going to make a double crochet. And I want to mention that these chains are also considered a double crochet. So you have 2 there. So 2, and we're going to double crochet right across. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, and 27. You want to end up with 27 double crochets right across. And this is what it looks like. So I want to mention that right up in front. You're going to end up with 27 double crochets across. Now again, I go slow so you can write it down. You can follow along. And this is what we did right here. So once we do that, we're going to chain 1, 2, and 3. This chain 3 equals a double crochet. Now once you do that, you're going to turn your work. In this next stitch, right next to this chain 3, which equals your double crochet, you're going to make your first puff stitch. So you're going to yarn over, and you're going to go into that stitch. You're going to pull up a loop. You're going to yarn over. You're going to go into that stitch again. You're going to pull up a loop. You're going to yarn over, go into that stitch again, and you're going to pull up a loop. You are going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 loops on your hook. You're going to yarn over, and you're going to pull through all 7 loops. And this is where you finish. You finished right here. Now, once you do that, you're going to chain 1. That's going to close up that puff stitch. So after you do that, you're going to chain 1, 2, and 3. Once you chain 3, you're going to skip 1, 2 stitches, and in the next stitch, you're going to put 1, 2, 3, a single crochet. Then after you put your single crochet, you're going to chain 1, chain 2, and chain 3. You're going to skip 1 and skip 2, and you're going to put a puff stitch there. So you're going to yarn over, like I said, skip 1, 2, go into that stitch, pull up a loop, and pull up enough so that it's even. Yarn over, pull through a second time, and go in, pull up a loop. Yarn over, go a third time, pull up a loop. You should have 7 loops on your hook. 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And I'm going to spread those apart so you can see them without losing these stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You're going to yarn over. You're going to go through all those loops. You're going to chain 1 because you want to close that up. Then you're going to chain 1, chain 2, and chain 3. You're going to skip 1, 2, and in this next one, we're going to do a single crochet. So this is what it's going to look like. So now we're going to chain 1, chain 2, and chain 3. We're going to skip 1, 2, 3, and then we're going to do another puff stitch. So we're going to yarn over, go in to that stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, go in a second time, pull up a loop, yarn over, go in a third time, pull up a loop. You're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 on your hook. You're going to yarn over, pull through all 7. You're going to chain 1 to close that up. Now you're going to chain 1, chain 2, and chain 3. You're going to skip, skip, and in this one, you're going to do a single crochet. And this is what it should look like. You're going to chain 1, chain 2, and chain 3. You're going to skip, skip, and in this one, you're going to make your puff stitch. So you're going to yarn over, go into that stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, go in, pull up a loop, yarn over, go to the third time, you go into the stitch after you yarn over, of course, pull up a loop, and you're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. You're going to yarn over, you're going to pull through all 7 of those loops. And you're going to chain 1 because you're going to close that up. You're going to chain 1, chain 2, and chain 3. Skip, skip, and in this next stitch, you're going to put a single crochet. You're going to chain 1, chain 2, and chain 3. You're going to skip, skip, and in this last stitch, and I want to show you, you have a chain 3, which is a double crochet, and your puff stitch at the beginning. So you're going to go into this stitch, which is next to the last stitch, and you're going to put a puff stitch. And when you do that puff stitch, I'm going to show you the other side. You're going to chain 1. Then what you're going to do is in this last stitch, which is a chain stitch, you're going to put a double crochet in that last stitch. And that's what it looks like. And I'll go close so you can see it. So what we did this and we did this. Isn't that pretty? So now what we're going to do is we're going to chain 1. And in case I went off camera, we're going to chain 1 and we're going to turn our work. After you chain 1 and turn your work, you're going to single crochet in where you chained 1 and turned your work. Once you do that, you're going to single crochet in this puff stitch. Then you're going to single crochet in this chain space, and then you're going to chain 1, chain 2, and chain 3. Once you do that, you're going to single crochet in this next chain space. And I'm going to go slow so you can follow along. Once you do that, you've got a puff stitch right here. In this puff stitch, you're going to single crochet. After you single crochet in the puff stitch, you're going to single crochet in the next chain space. Then you're going to chain 1, chain 2, and chain 3. You're going to single crochet in this next chain space. You're going to skip over the single crochet, make a single crochet right here. Once you single crochet in that chain space, you've got a puff stitch. You're going to single crochet above that puff stitch. And then you're going to single crochet in this next chain space. Once you do that, you're going to chain 1, you're going to chain 2, and you're going to chain 3. Then you're going to single crochet in the next chain space. Once you do that, you're going to single crochet in this puff stitch. So you're going to single crochet right above it. Then you're going to single crochet in this chain space. Once you do that, you're going to chain 1, you're going to chain 2, and you're going to chain 3. You're going to single crochet in this next chain space. And then you're going to single crochet in the last 2 stitches. So that would be above this puff stitch, and then you're going to single crochet in the 3rd chain of that chain 3 space. And this is what it looks like. And I just want to put it down so you can see it. Now we've done row, so you can see it, row 1, row 2, and row 3. So now what we're going to do is we're going to chain 1, chain 2, and chain 3. We're going to turn our work. Once we turned our work, this is considered a double crochet. So now what we're going to do is a double crochet in the next stitch. We're not going to go here because we have a double crochet there. So we're going to go here and put a double crochet. Then in the next stitch right here, and we're going in those single crochets, we're going to do a double crochet. Now we're going to go in this chain 3 space, this chain space. We're going to do 3 double crochets. 1, 2, and 3. And let's look at that. And that's what that looks like. We did a chain 3 and turned our work. Then, and we consider that a double crochet in that first spot. Then we did a double crochet in the next space, in the next stitch, and then we did 3 double crochets in that chain 3 space. Now we're going to do double crochets in the next 3 stitches. So a double crochet here, and you'll be able to see these stitches. A double crochet in this stitch here, and a double crochet in this next stitch. And we just did the double crochets. So then we're going to go to our next chain space and we're going to put 3 double crochets. 1, 2, and 3. So now what we're going to do is we're going to do double crochets in these next 3 stitches. So we're going to do 1, 2, and 3. Show you what we have. So now once we do those 3 double crochets, we're going to go to our next chain space. And I want to show you what we have here. That's what it looks like. We're going to go to our next chain space. And as you can see, we're going to do 3 more double crochets in that chain space. So 1, 2, and 3. Now we're going to do 3 double crochets in each one of these stitches. 1, and those stitches are the single crochets from, I'm going to pull out just a tad. Those are the single crochets from below. So we're going to put 1, 2, and 3. So now in this chain 3 space, we're going to put 3 double crochets. 1, 2, and 3. So now we're getting to the end, and there's 1, 2, 3 spaces left, 3 stitches left. We're going to do 3 double crochets, 1 double crochet in each one of those 3 spaces. So 1, 2, and 3. And that's what we have, and that's what it looks like. It's a really pretty, and you could make an Afghan with this stitch too. You could go on, figure out, and make an Afghan with this. All of these blocks you could make a full Afghan with. So now we've done row 1, row 2, row 3, and row 4. So I want to mention that and see how quick that was to do. So now what we're going to do is we're going to chain 1, we're going to chain 2, and we're going to chain 3. we're going to turn our work. And once we turn our work, this is going to be what's going to happen. We are going to make a double crochet in each one of these stitches. So I'm going to show you what we're going to do. And I want to, right now, I'm having problems. I have to say that the last few times that I've bought, and I'm not happy to say this, but I'm going to say it anyway. The last few times that I've bought this Lion Brand yarn, this basic stitch, for some reason, it coming out of the yarn ball, you know, the yarn coming out, has gotten knotted. I've had problems with it. So if anybody's had that problem, let me know. I'm curious to see if anyone else has had that problem, because I have seems to have had that problem with the last 3 or 4 that I've used. I don't know what it is, but that's what's happened. So again, we did all of those rows. We did 1 through 4. Now we're going to do row 5. So we chained 3 and we turn our work. And that chain 3 is again considered a double crochet. So now we're going to double crochet across. We're not going to go back into that first stitch because that's our first double crochet. So we're going to make 1 and 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, and the last one where the chains are, 27. And this is what it looks like. Row 1 through 5. So now what is going to happen is, for the rest of this block, you're going to repeat rows 2 to 5 3 times. You should end up with a total of 16 rows, give or take, because sometimes everybody crochets a little differently, but you should end up with 16 rows. And what I mean by that is your tension, you might be a little loose, but you should end up with 16 rows and a 9.5 inch square thus far. Now what'll happen is I'm going to show you how to block these squares. So once you block them, they'll be 9.5 inch squares. So that's why I'm saying you've got to do row 2 to 5 over and over again. So once you finish this, you go back to row 2, to row 2 to 5. Then after you're done with that, you go to 2 to 5 again and 2 to 5 again until you get your 16 rows to finish this block off. Once you finish this block off, and like all the blocks that we are making, you're going to end all the blocks the same way. And you don't even have to cut this when you're done with your block. What you can do is continue to make your border. If you want to cut it, you can. And the border is the same with every block. And I say this, I repeat this every block in case you missed one, or, you know, I want to always like to repeat it. You finish this block like you would every block that you work on. And what you would do is you would 3 single crochets in this corner, then 25 single crochets across, 3 in this corner, 25 single crochets across, 3 single crochets in this corner, 25 across, 3 single crochets in this corner, and 25. So 25 single crochets down the side, 25 single crochets across the bottom and the top, and each corner is 3 single crochets. That's how you finish each block off. And I showed that on when we did block number 1, part 2, it shows you just how to do that. If you have any questions, please feel free to get back to me and just ask me in the comments. I also want to mention that I'm going to show you how to block these, so they're all going to end up being 9.5-inch squares, as long as you use a 4-weight yarn, and as long as you use the eye hook that I've suggested. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial of block number 12, and I will be doing another tutorial for block number 13 coming up. My next tutorial is going to be a stitch, and then we'll start block number 13. I also want to mention while I'm here, if you're seeing my hands very bruised, I had to have some blood work done, and I don't have the best veins. You think with all the crocheting that I do have good veins, but I really don't. So that's what you're seeing, why my hands are so bruised, because they couldn't get me, unfortunately. And I had to have a test, so they had to give me an IV. So I wanted you to know, in case you're saying, oh my gosh, what's going on with her hands? That's what's going on with my hands. So sorry for the bruising. I want to apologize for that. So this is Maria from Crochet A to Z. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial of block number 12. If you have any questions, please feel free to add them in the comments. I answer everyone that asks me a question. So whatever questions you have, whatever comments you have, I will answer you. Absolutely. You're an important part of this community, and I always like to answer you. So that's that on that. The next one will be, my next tutorial will be a stitch tutorial. So this is Maria from Crochet A to Z. I hope you had a great day. I hope you have a great Wednesday evening. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being part of this community. If you haven't subscribed yet, please push that subscribe button. Please also push that like button, because it does get the algorithms out there so people can find this channel. I go slow in these videos, so you can follow along. You can write things down. So that it makes it easy. I like to make it easy and visual for everybody. And I want to make it so everybody can do these. So when I mean by everybody, I mean beginner to advanced, everyone in between, and if you've never picked up a crochet hook before. So this is Marie from Crochet A to Z. Thank you. Have a lovely, lovely rest of the day and evening. Love you all. Bye-bye.